61.
And this is the leader in the 1600cc category, car number 70, the Bates twins, Neil and Rick from Canberra. This entire class comprised of Toyota Corollas. 10 of them started, and they're all still out there, still circulating, still in action, and they do a great job. They get swamped, of course, by the more powerful cars, but they do a tradesman-like job, unlike the Lansvale Smash Repairs Commodore. This is on pit straight.
More trouble for Trevor Ashby, and it's a long way back to the entrance to the pits from there.
He's got a whole lap, 6.2 kilometres in front of him. He wants to get back again.
While we're talking about the 30th anniversary, car 30 in the 30th anniversary race, the Seaton Jones car has just come in and changed rubber and changed drivers.
Well, Alan Jones just got back into the race. Glenn, quite a long stop, and also a few problems with demisting, I think.
Yeah, as soon as you get behind someone coming down the straight, it instantly fogs. And you're just guessing all the way down the straight. I was actually looking at the white lines beside me to see where the track was going, and it's just hard to drive like that.
Would the problem be that the car's so new you haven't had a chance to test it in the wet?
Well, we haven't done any testing in the wet except for a little bit of sand down, and as soon as you get behind someone, it instantly fogs the windows, so it makes it fairly hard.
Nonetheless, you must be quite pleased with the way the car's gone today.
Oh yeah, I'm wrapped so far. Like, it's a brand new car, 2 months old, and I think it's impressed this weekend.
Thanks, Glenn.
Glenn Seaton there talking with Richie. Car number 30, Alan Jones now at the wheel, rejoins the great race in 15th position.
Back with the 1600cc category leader, the Bates twins from Canberra, and gee, these have been good little cars. Lightweight, of course, and low on power compared to the big machines, only 200 brake horsepower, but with a 5-speed box and that little Toyota engine, just under the 1600cc's. Does a powerful job around here. 38 cars still running in the race, and of the 10 1600cc category cars that started, they're all still out there. Those guys are leading. Second spot being held down by Scott and Jason Bargwana in car 71, and third spot by Peter Verheyen and Jeffrey Full in car 74.
The Bates twins, Messrs Bates. Don't tell me what you call one of them.
Wrong. Meanwhile, car 9 returns to the pits. More troubles for the second Moffat Sierra. And if Rudy Eggenberger hasn't had enough headaches today.
He certainly has, and Johnny Brady, a very wet Johnny Brady, is our man on the scene.
Yeah, getting a little damp, but unfortunately that could be the problem too with Alan. More electronic strife. This car's been plagued by it for a while now, and the weather conditions just not helping these electronic cars. All the governing computers are giving a lot of trouble, and the miss in this one they still haven't been able to detect just what is causing it. And really for Alan Moffat, as miserable a day as it seems by the weather.
It's an irony that they should have a problem with electrics, because Rudy Eggenberger is the guru of motor racing electronics. He arrives here with a bag of chips, and I mean a bag of chips, and suddenly Alan Moffat's got two of the most competitive touring cars in the world.
Jeffrey Full at the wheel of car 74, Toyota Corolla. The class winner here. Oh, that's the...
We've had a big accident, the Marathon Foods Commodore.
And the other, it's the second Caltex car.
Yeah, Caltex car 7. The pace car is onto the circuit. And that's been quite a high-speed shunt between these two cars. Caltex 7 driven by Peter Hopwood and Terry Bosanjak.
Not much of the boot left there. I hope he didn't have his golf clubs in.
Car 29 is John English and the New Zealand driver Ed Lamont, a Marathon Foods entry.
Well, the pace car you mentioned coming out, I would think that would probably be for the fog on the mountain, which has really rolled in the last 15 or 20 minutes.
Well, this is no wonder the pace cars come out so quickly. This is probably one of the fastest corners of the circuit. I think it's just off the King coming into Caltex Chase.
A huge amount of damage to the Commodore front and back. So he's obviously had a clip and then has gone into the fence, or has hit the fence and then clipped the other car. There's the weather shot again. All that mist down on the top of the mountain. Visibility up there is deplorable.
This will be disappointing for John English's team. Had some engine troubles earlier in the week. They're bolting a new one in for Thursday just to get out and qualify.
Fire marshals dousing the fuel cell at the rear of the car.
Car 7's the car that Cullen Bond campaigned this year in the touring car title. Look at the
every corner of the car has been banged up.
That's been a monster shunt, pouring a lot of fire-killing foam all over the back of the fuel tank. may have ruptured the fuel bladder inside the tank, which is very dangerous.
The two drivers standing on the embankment, they're reliving the incident.
Yeah, they'd be pretty shaken up. Just as well everyone on this track. This is pretty dangerous conditions. Some GTR pace car on the track at the moment.
Let's go down to the pits and to Richie.
Thank you, Mike. Well, the Nissan GTR pace car's out there. It should be leading the field, and behind it, it should have the GTR that's leading the race. There's a bit of a problem down here, though, a few worried faces, because he's due for a pit stop any minute, and if they can't do the pit stop quickly enough, he might end up getting held in the pits and lose a lap. So Mark Scaife looking a bit worried, so is Freddie Gibson and the rest of the crew.
Thank you, Richard. Yes, some problems for them as they circulate around behind the pace car up to the top of the mountain. Just trying to check the visibility from our outside cameras. That's heading up to the top through Tooheys Turn.
Well, they call the rain the great equaliser. I guess in this situation, it's all the cards are falling in Freddie Gibson's favour. It may go against him. He's got to get out of that queue, do his change and get back onto the queue. It's going to have to be a very slick stop. But if they're trying to stretch their fuel load, these conditions will only help the cars just crawling around it. Shopping centre speeds.
Across the top, the mountain at Castrol.
Look at the fog. In the last hour, that has got twice as bad as it was. Really posing in treacherous conditions. As they come over the top through Castrol Skyline.
As Alan Horsley pointed out, the pace car is out for the fog, not for the crash. I think it would have come out for that crash anyway on the approach to Caltex. Might be an idea to up-spec and see how everyone is running in this great race as we check them out on the Caltex race score. Richards and Scaife continue to lead. Neil Crompton runs in second. Anders Olofsson. Johnny Cicotto is still out there. Tony Longhurst to take over shortly. They are running third in the Benson and Hedges BMW. In fourth spot, car number 17, John Bowe of Tasmania, driving for Dick Johnson in the Shell Sierra. And of course, Mark Gibbs in the GR Nissan GTR running in fifth place.
Sixth position, Percy and Grice, the first of the HRT Commodore VPs. In fact, they're running in the Quinella position, the two HRT cars. Brad Jones at the wheel of car 15 in seventh position. Position number 8 held by car 10, the Needsvitz Hansford Sonova Sierra. The second of the Shell cars, Shield and Crick, car 18 in ninth position. Miedeke and Dunstan in the older model Mobile 1 Commodore in 10th spot.
Position 11, Park and Parsons in the surviving Peter Jackson Sierra. Harrison Cook in the Daily Planet Commodore. That's a good effort. Position 13, car 30, Seaton and Jones, the Peter Jackson Falcon, plugging on through the rain. Position 14, car 7, Hopwood and Bosanjak. Well, that's the car you see at the bottom of your screen there. And position 15, car 27, Finnegan and Rogers in the Foodtown Commodore.
Murray Perkins and Steve Harrington, T-Mart Commodore. In position 16, Moore and Gardner. Celebrated Wayne Gardner in the Strathfield Commodore in 17th position. 18th, Reed and Ashby, the Ladsvale Commodore VN. In 19th, Charlie O'Brien and Graham in the Everlast Commodore. And in position 20, Grant and Grant, the Nissan Skyline.
Position 21 currently held by O'Brien and Brabham in the second Synovus entry car 9. Position 22, car 44, McCollin Gazard in a Commodore. Position 23, the BMW 635 of Gulson and Beck in 23rd spot. And the first of the 1600cc cars, Bates and Bates the Corolla, position 24. And the second of the 1600 cars in position 25, the Bargwana cousins.
Running in position 26, Johnson and Wallen Holden Commodore from 27. That's Waldock and Brett Peters in the Playscape car. 74, Verheyen and Full, Jeff Full in the Toyota Corolla, run 28th, 29th, English and Lamont. And 30th spot, Jones and Jansen.
Position 31, 73, Holden and Jones. 32, 78, Dunford and Wright. 33, car 82, Murphy Barnes. 34, 05, Brock and Reuter behind the Corollas. And 35, car 72, Easton Stratton.
36th position, Burke and Carling in the Supra. Gardner and Conway, car 76 in position 37. Position 38 held by Ray and Talbot in the Toyota Corolla. Doolman and Cotter, the BMW M3 in position 39. And in position 40 is car 36.
Position 41, Morrison Hull. 42, car 31, Kerr and Watson. Out of position 43, car 40, Wilmington and Watkinson. Back in 44, car 26, Hendrick and Blanchard. Out of 45, car 75, Binding and Tyndall.
Position 46, Sala and Weeks, Ford Sierra. Position 47 and rounding up the field and not running anywhere. It's been in the pits since lap 2. Bond and Smith, the Caltex Sierra. Unfortunate for them, there have been a few retirements.
Approach to Caltex chase, John English and Ed Lamont. Let's have a look what happens. Here is the Hopwood car coming up. Is going to pull out and has drilled the Commodore right in the rear, and you can see what has happened. He's put himself around, and there goes the Commodore. He's trying to bring it back under control. He'll hit the wall on the right. Oh! And then straight across to the left, and how on earth he has just missed being hit again. That was a very, very spectacular incident. We might have that from another angle. I'll have another look at that when the explosion, but that is in fact what has happened. The English Lamont car has been hit from behind.
At the time, car 7, the Caltex CXT race team's Ford Sierra was in position 14, so that's an unfortunate incident.
The pace car still on the track, not directly as a result of that incident, by the way. It's because of the very, very heavy mist on the top of the mountain, and visibility is almost zero up there. And at this time, the number 2, Winfield Nissan, comes in. Neil Crompton exits the car, Anders Olofsson is going to take over the wheel again.
See, Jimmy Richards came in just a few seconds ago. That moved the number 2 car up to the lead.
And Johnny Chicotto's in as well. Tony Longhurst getting into the car.
So they'll do their full fuel stop, change of driver, the BMW team. And Neil Crompton. Good on Cromley. You can actually tell everyone now he led the great race.
Sure did.
Don't think he won't.
Paul Morris there helping Tony Longhurst get strapped in. What a disappointing day for him, not getting a stint behind the wheel with that unfortunate incident. Involving getting home.
Sorry, Gary. Car 25 was in position 3. This pit stop will drop them back, and Tony's yelling at the crew. He's having these major domestic problems on the front window as well. This is quite a long stop for the B&H crew, and the main problem seems to be this fogging up. And really need everything going for you in these thick, foggy conditions. There's the 18 car. The problem here is that car 17 is in before them.
Now Longhurst can't get out. He's being held up by the 18 car.
Oh, desperate stuff.
Tony will be furious about this.
Well, he's got a lot of time to catch up. Pace car on the way.
He's trying to push it out with his fists. That's how frustrated he is.
That was a pretty fraught sort of stop from the normally slick B&H crew. Greg Crick, Terry Shield talking to him through the passenger side window. All sorts of problems.
Now this is the Moffat car, car 9, the Klaus Neeswitz car. They're changing the ignition leads on that, I believe. More electrical problems, and car 10 due in with similar problems in moments.
That's the trouble with all this trick electrical gear. Once you chuck a bucket of water on it, it doesn't help much.
So car 18 gets its chance in the garage. Meanwhile, car 9 has had so many visits to the pits. And almost 3 hours into the race, all sorts of electrical dramas with car 9. That's a great shame for Alan Moffat. You can see him there. Wouldn't be the happiest man. No, they're not going out of the pits. Bonnet up again. Drama upon drama for Moffat Sierra. Meanwhile, back at the Shell pit, Greg Crick, Australian sports sedan champion,
trying to clear the windscreen of this car as well.
Let's go down to Johnny Brady.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. The common problem here is keeping the windscreens clean and under misted. There's been some amazing tricks tried. The Glenn Seaton Ford's been using Coca-Cola on the premise that the water might at least stick to the sticky surface and drip, whereas Brocky earlier was using half-cut apples on the inside in the hope he'd get it slippery and the fog wouldn't stick. At least in the Shell pit, they've gone for somewhat more conventional means.
Martha Gardner could be giving tips here.
Mate, there are so many home handy tips around.